100% record going. You must be very pleased today.
Yep, we spoke about that. It was one of the points at the start of the game was, we were the only team at that point that had that, and come 4:45 today we wanted to be the only team that still had it, and they've went and done that. So credit to the players, because like I've said many a time, you're up against a team that have championship quality players in their starting 11, and there's no doubt about that. I felt that the game would be won almost by our bench. I thought that I looked down that and I think we're strong, and you only need to go and look at what's happened today in terms of players having to come off with injuries and with cramp and different issues, and the fact that we saw it through was brilliant. Character and strength and depth to go and do that. At the end of the game we're down to 10 players because we've made as many stoppages as we can. We can't then change tags, so I'm asking Calvin Orsett to go and play left wing back, I'm asking Stephen Buchanan to play right wing back, I'm asking Luke Donnelly to play as a centre midfielder, I'm asking Dave Mackay to get thrown on the pitch and play in the middle of a back three, I'm asking Cal Waters to play as a centre half, Owen Foster to play as a centre half. But the brilliant thing is they go and do it, and they go and do it to the best of their ability, and see if you get that throughout the season. That's exactly what you need to go and be up the right end of the table, which is where we are at the moment. And obviously it's early days, but you want to be competing at that stage, and I think that the players were outstanding to a man in the way that they dug in. Football changes so quickly, we see it all the time, and a lot of the boys on the bench would have been sitting there thinking, oh well, I want to play today. Well, there you go, you're in, and now there's potential that you could get a chance next week, depending on once we assess the injuries and we see where we're at. But over the moon with 3 points, because like I say, tough team to play against. I thought first half I just didn't think we were at it. I thought it was without much happening, in all honesty. I don't think there was any chances. I don't think anybody would have really enjoyed that first 45 minutes, and we spoke at half time about getting our structure at 5 yards higher up the pitch, and I felt that we did that right away when Curtis hits the bar and they clear the one off the line. And from that point I just felt like that's what instigated everything, and from then on I thought that the players deserved their win.
Guy at the back looked quite untested despite having to come in maybe late midweek.
Absolutely, and listen, credit to Phil, because he's a fantastic person in the sense that he's one of the best people to have in the goalkeeping group. He supports the goalkeeper no matter who's in ahead of him. He'll support them to the best of his ability. He's just as happy for the goalie that's in there to make saves as when he does it himself, and for him to get thrown in with the short notice and things like that, and what's happened this week, it's brilliant. It's a test of his character, and he passed it with flying colours. But listen, credit to the 10 players in front of him, because I think we limited Hamilton to very few chances, and with the attacking options that they've got, that's what pleases me the most, is the way that we defended as a group, because they've, like I say, really strong players in the forward areas, and for us to go and defend that way and limit them so much was brilliant to see.
Yeah, and just on Liam McFarlane being recalled, does that now change what you're looking to do going forward as well?
Yeah, of course it does. Yeah, we're always wanting, we want another goalie in with the group. That's never going to shy away from that. But at the same time, with the performance that Phil has put in, I think it allows us to take stock and make the right decision as opposed to rushing into it. My phone was going crazy on Friday with goalkeepers getting thrown at you left, right and centre, and I just don't think that's the right approach. It's got to be a measured and calm decision, is to bring another goalkeeper into the group that, number one, fits with the group that we've got and strengthens us. That's the most important thing. So credit to Phil today, but yeah, it is something that we'll need to look at, is bringing another one in. We're also looking to bring in another one or two in outfield areas as well to help us strengthen everywhere, because like I said to you, you need a squad if you're going to be up the right end of the table, and that's hopefully what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks, is add in one or two.